It's certainly something I want to look about recording. Here we are, live. Don't expect anybody to be there right now because that'll be nauseating me. Yeah, get out of there. So tonight I should talk about questions. Last video I did 2.5 hours. What I thought was broadcasting and didn't even do live. That fucking killed me. Because as far as I was concerned, it was a pretty good representation of the history of England's constitution and how it moved forward up until 1706 and why 1706 was important for the breakdown of the constitution. I may cover a little bit of that. But I'm actually looking at making another video of that, but more defined and presented with evidence, because some as serious as that you should, and I intend to do that. But it's the next one or one soon. Yeah. Similar at the moment. These are just all informal chats. Call them chats when nobody's watching. Hey, but what I like to talk about here is within the constitutional framework, because it is so poignant. I mean, there's many organisations out there. There's more organisations out there fighting to remove the Constitution of England than there is to keep it alive. That shit breaks my heart. And it should just. No matter where you will live on the British Isles, even America, Europe, Australasia, Canada, many of those that have been taken on board and tried to use the Constitution of England as a backbone of their own constitution, that in itself break your heart that is being undermined in the root of where it all began. Through education, not taught anymore. Most people are not aware that the Constitution of England exists. It can't be. It's not written. It's not like America where it's codified. No, England is a living, organic thing. For over 1,000 years, the Constitution has grown. And even now, for some time, our Constitution here in England has been poisoned by the rats in government that chew on the wires of truth to lie about what is. Because that's what they are. Liars, Blair, he, even Thatcher, to a point. Most of the time she was honest, and I hate the bitch. But most of the time, at least, she was honest. She didn't want nothing to do with the EU. She didn't want that for us. She didn't want communism, and that's why she went down hard on the left and the sorry, not just miners, even though that was a diabolical mistake. Diabolical mistake. But the attack on the miners wasn't about the miners, but about the union, where the left tried to take a hard stance on communism and get communism into power in this country. And she held that back. But it was at that same time when it started to infiltrate into her own party. She was well aware of it. Just green tea, lemon, honey. So, like George Washington, Margaret Thatcher knew that those of New York, were infiltrating into all aspects of government within the Western world. It was a concerted attack. And as George Washington said in his letters, check out the Heritage Foundation of the United States of America and look at the letters of Abraham Lincoln, look at them with George Washington. You will see they knew very clearly who their enemy was. And it's the same enemy we have today, who is seemingly winning when it can create a whole world to lock itself up in its own house, right? You got the key, you can open the door, you can walk out. Why the fuck? Right? I think somebody's called it the Omnicron at one time. It was that which was all seeing throughout time because it recorded it with cameras. Wow. Somebody who's a troll. But by you. Can't be doing with porn shit on this side. But yeah, ex-girls. You are ex. Anyway. That idea of infiltration is always in the best spy novels, right? But who would have ever thought that it would come to a point where they would infiltrate the whole of your government, education, thought processes, newspapers, television news, en masse, and even into the modern social conversation places. The town hall, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, right? They're already in there, infiltrating it, using it, abusing it, and they are abusing it. They abuse it with so much shite. and ridiculous thought, which sounds fine on the surface until you understand it and it comes home and the hammer hits you on the head. Then you notice that you're being beaten with a stick that you thought was one of freedom, and it's not freedom all. You never had the clarity such as the English Constitution has. And if you would, please, you should go and visit the Magna Carta Society, either on YouTube or .com, the Magna Carta Society, and listen to the most formidable men talking about our Constitution, the Constitution of England. Now, these men understand it better than we do, but we should understand it as well as they. It should be part of our education. That is what should be our education, not CRT, not BLM. And Antifa can go fucking burn itself. A Swedish organizer, dick fucking what the fucking who the fucking thinks he is. Judge Soros paid to a billionaire so he can laugh at it, while he. What do you expect from these people? They think if they win, right, that they're gonna be living in sunshine and their families are, yeah. But they'll be the first to go before the masses. So you can laugh at it and say, hey, oh, they've gone. But you still got it to come. And they're confident that it's coming. Because you won't join together. You won't unite. You will not talk to each other anymore. You've forgotten how to talk to each other. I know. I don't know. This is why recently I made a decision after I did that last video, but it was one before it which actually never got recorded because I didn't press record on the bottom. 2.5 hours I was sat here like this, chatting some shit to myself. But as far as I was concerned, it was actually a good piece, and I'll try and recreate it. Recreating is not the same thing. Hopefully we can do a bit better, but we'll see. I will see. You will see. Forever the Trinity, right? What was it? You owe me, please. Okay. So it would seem the One Earth World Cup. The OWEC, the One Earth World Cup. You're gonna be all typing, oh, where did that come from? Where did that come from? Have a laugh. Enjoy. Anyway, them fuckers. We're all trying to get us to live in paranoia. Animosity. Misery. Is that a map of Pam? No. The enologists. Is that a word? I figure that one out. So if we're living in fear, what we're living in fear of, what is it that we fear? Or is it that they don't give a flying fuck whether we're living in fear or not? Just when it comes to us and the finger points at us, then we live in fear. And you don't know until you do, right? Because when they're knocking on your fucking door, yeah, asking you questions, yeah, and you don't answer rightly, they carry you away. When it's you that's living in anger, yeah, and the moment they're allowing it. Come a time when the what? When it doesn't suit the purpose anymore to create the paranoia, the fear, the misery. Then they'll come at your door. Probably sooner than you think. And they'll blame you. It was you, it was you, it was you. Well, then, not to do with them. They didn't have a clue what was going on. They don't know who was hiring you from a government fucking land. 33 fucking corridors, by the way. Oh, never heard of them. Never heard of you. But you'll sing your songs like little canaries. No more oil, no more oil. Even though it seems that if you leave an oil field that you are not pumping out for a certain number of years, that oil field builds back up. It's not a fossil fuel. Coal maybe, and there's evidence to promote that idea of coal, sorry, but not of oil. Oil seems to be different, even though you can get a form of same or whatever extraction from coal and get a crude oil, crude, crude, right? Uh, you have to laugh at these fucking cunts, and that's what they are, they're cunts, right? Don't know how to milk a goat. Getting some aspects of that, maybe a couple of ones on top, and we'll be all right, right? Feel like one sometimes. Somebody says something to you, and you go, God, fuck. Didn't make that connection before till now, right? Happens all the time to all of us. It's happening faster and faster and more to all of us. But how long can we do this shit? How long can we continue like we are before we are not? And when we are not, don't bear thinking about really, does it? It's in them little words. It's always in the little fucking words, right? Must, yeah, for those that are aware. Latin gold. Do you get that one? Don't think most do. I think most are confused by it and they go, yeah, oh yeah, so oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh yeah, yeah. No, don't. It's bollocks. They'll lie to you all the time. Fair enough, yeah. Not everything's a lie. There's an element of truth in what you see, or at least a majority see that they use, and then lace it with lies. That's how you. Back again. I don't know what happened there. Looks interrupted for some reason. Not sure why. Well, is that's weird. Block a user, egg skills. Right. Put user in timeout, block user, an error occurred, try refreshing. No, fucking blocking. Dick book. No, block. User in timeout. Oh, that worked. Isn't that weird? Now the fucker can come back. No. 5 minutes. You'll be watching that shit. That's ridiculous. It's not even stopping me blocking somebody now. Yeah. It was just spamized. The only girls, right? Come on. But to have them fucking teaming down as a fucking page is just ridiculous, right? Even though that happened, as far as I'm aware. Nah, not good. And why haven't I got the right to block this? Because that's what it's saying, is that I can't block them. That's ridiculous. Mm. That I can't block anybody on this channel is nuts. That can't be new. Or it's limited to how I'm presenting it on without payment, so you get these privileges. Privileges. Those that are privileged because they can afford to pay, right? That's what it is, isn't it? Must be. Welcome. Privilege. The saddest things I've ever heard are from my friends and neighbours. Not from people halfway around the world that are coming here and telling me their stories. They are. and they're affecting, but not as obviously as affecting of those of your family and friends, which in many ways are just as horrific, even though 10,000 tons of TNT aren't just dropped on their fucking house. Instead, it was an insidious project from their own government supplying monies or allowing legislation to ignore certain things which will have an effect on tens of thousands, even millions of people within their own country, because it would grow the GDP. Hence, 3 protocols of curing cancer: ban, poison, and cut the fuck off. Nothing else exists in the ability to treat cancer anywhere in the Western world that has signed up into the UN. Nowhere. No other form of treatment for cancer can be even considered. Not at all. Even though there are more than 3,000 different cures for cancer. Away from the harshness of a lifetime of treatment by the pharmaceutical and medical board. And they're aware of it, fully aware of it. Fuck them. Then was created into that same ideological policy of burn, poison, and cut off. No, them three things are phenomenally not only toxic but murderous to a patient. More toxic than poisonous? Sure. Create further complications, so further medications needed? Sure. For how long? In this modern society of culling, where we can cull our children in certain areas of the world after birth, where it's becoming more and more talked about that you should have the ability to abort a child after it's born. Motherfuckers, what the fuck are you thinking? Shit. This is some of the most heartbreaking shit I've ever read. Most people are ignoring it. What? You want to kill children? You want to rape children? The fuck you on about? You sick fuckers. You need to be in front of the law, in front of the bench. In every country where you do this, straight away, in front of the bench, judged by your peers. The misery the world is experiencing today is so incalculable that it goes beyond belief. it actually suspends belief, because why did it happen? Why was it allowed to happen? Why was it encouraged to continue? Why was most of the scientific evidence produced at the time ignored? Why is it ignored today? Why is it that the largest ever, and we're only talking about 2018 when it was the largest, sorry, the time when the largest amount of money was ever taken away from the poor and given to the rich. And then again, over the last 2 years, in 2020, 2022, now, as it's been told again, that this is now the time. Why is this becoming a frequent fucking record that the largest amount of money from the poor to the rich has continuously going on? Why are you all not talking? I get it. It took me a while before I started talking. So who the fuck am I, right? No one. No, I'm just a pleb. Fucking no one. I am a no one. Sometimes you feel like you have to say some fucking thing because it's all wrong and it cannot be tolerated. The governments today in just about every country on the planet, yeah, cannot be tolerated to continue in the way they are. They must be brought to account. And I'm not talking to you accountants. Because, yeah, all right, a little mathematical equation there and here and there. But when it comes to the fucking serious questions of right and fucking wrong and who was paying you, you might get that little, damn in there, accountants with, who was paying them and how much. But the moral, ethical, full, broad side of these issues, once they come to the attention and the wholeheartedness both of the people, when they stand, you will face no amnesty. None. None. So that is the thing in it. How many times have I fucking ever even mentioned that? That's just, I would never ever make that statement ever. Type it. Obviously, I did. That is the thing in it. Is not how you would say that from where I am. Yeah, it is. Is how you hear it here. Yeah, it is. When you hear that here in Yorkshire, you know that people understand it. That it's all of them out there, the media and saying that's how it is. Even legislation and the ability for a law to come and do what it does, yeah, is yeah, it is. Fucking isn't it? It's the closest I can get to that. Why I wrote that? And I must have been somebody I heard and agreed with from someone on the other side of the country. Probably Lancashire, right? But we of the roses know, right? From wrong. We of the roses know, don't we? The struggle of a constitution and the creation of it, especially. And why? Hot pots and puddings know this. They live it. It's a part of them. And they wear it on the sleeve. How can you do otherwise? People can't treat like it. What the fuck you want about? Fuck off. Don't talk shit. Hey, a little word that so many people around the world are so bothered about this one four-letter word, right? They've got all sorts of ways of saying it in the most ridiculous of voices, and they make you ridiculous when you say them. Like you're talking to a child. I never talk to a child like that. I never said, "Oh, have you poo-pooed?" I went, "You shit yourself again." Done it myself. People don't, for whatever reason. A few times in your life, most of you probably don't experience it because, well, you don't get yourself into situations where it happens, right? Fair enough. I applaud. You forward thinking shit. Yeah, well, why are you talking then? As soon as though you're forward thinking and can see obviously what's coming forward. I guarantee there'll be no fans involved. I bet there's plenty of NPCs though, right? All these non-player characters that have all got something to say, cliche. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Hi. How you doing? A fine day to you. Right. What's a Yorkshire Green? All right. You can come back with that any way you want. It's a question. It's All right. Yeah, no. Okay, let's talk. You got something in your mind. Go on, oh. Might not have time, but hey, you can make a choice. Anyone with a stranger. Say all right to him in Yorkshire. Have a go. All right. See what happens. Hello, Amanda. How are you doing? A few minutes you've been there. Sorry, didn't notice it coming. I hope you're well. So when somebody asks you or if you're all right in Yorkshire, they mean it. They'll talk to you. Whatever your problem is, they'll listen. Unless they ain't got time and they'll excuse themselves. But generally speaking, it's all right. It's an open door to talk. When you say evenings to me, morning, you're already past them. Evening's been. I'm gone. Morning. I'm looking forward to the afternoon. All right. How are we doing? Now I know there's all sorts of ways of making that call all over the country, and they all have different ideas of looking to it. Glad to hear it, Amanda. Sorry, Manda. I'm adding an A on there because of where you come from, the Yorkshire Rose. So we're we're all seeing less and less of that because of we're not being able to spend more and more time circulating in societies through our work or social lives. Yeah, and more and more interactions are happening. I mean, it's not so bad that it's just with your family. I mean, families really need to get on top of each other all the time, and we need time away from them and different points of view so we can come back and say, hey, this point of view, is that where you're coming from? No, it's okay. Uh, you're able to create more talking points because of interactions. Close down interactions and communication. Well, 2 years of lockdown. Get on, get on. That's weird. It's not normal Yorkshire. So we're all struggling to stand together because of many people are not prepared to say it as it comes and talk wholeheartedly, yeah, and wear the heart on the sleeve, yeah. We need to start talking more and more. If we don't communicate better, we're going to live worse. And while we allow these institutions to keep dictating, we're going to do less and less. And we need to do more and more. I intend to. I mean, this is why I started just making these conversations or whatever the fuck you think they are. I don't know what the fuck I think it is, really. Just saying how I feel, pissed off, you know. And I think more and more of us need to do it and do our own voice and commit our voice to saying on and say, you know, sick of this shit. Shit. You know the word YouTube hates. Most of all, Americans are so terrified of the word shit, it's unbelievable. It's like they've never wiped their own ass, or at least won't admit it. Yeah, man, you're not wrong. I think it's time's coming though, and I think that's why I'm doing what I'm doing here, you know, talking. It's because more and more of us are, and here's me, this fucking waste of a space, pleb, right, talking on YouTube, right, that nobody gives a shit about except for family and friends, right, and I don't blame them because who the fuck am I, right? Well, right's right, isn't it? And we have to start talking about it. Because there's a lot more wrong with the world today and in the last 2-3 years, yeah, than there's ever been in the history of fucking mankind. Ever. The more you know, the more they can. Is that it? Not fucking likely as far as I'm concerned. No, no. It will not be tolerated. You know, today, right, mate came around earlier. Came on with a couple of gifts, right, which were very special. Right, it made me feel really, really nice tonight. And right now, the first time in a long, long time, I absolutely without any pain in my body. One of them was a special craft beer. Yeah, it's a special craft. It's handcrafted. Yeah, Razorback. Yeah, I think it's selling me Nasdaq. Yeah. Not bad. It's an enjoyable drink. It's only 3.6%. But for a craft beer, if you just want a gentle, you know, pull on a cool one, right? Can't go wrong. Then he brought a whiskey brewed from the beer, not Razorback. One he'd brewed himself. It was 3 days old. Apart from it still being rather thick and gravity hit the bottom and it being a little sweet, a little over sweet, yeah. I had 2 moments of, right? It was rather pleasant at the time. And that took him 3 days just to produce this whiskey. And I tell you what, a little bit longer, when that becomes less thick, yeah, and more of the sweetness is gone, that will almost be a 12-year-old whiskey in the space of a few weeks. That'll blow your head. And I have actually tried a few bottles of whiskey. Yeah, that was as good as a Glenfiddich 12-year-old. Seriously. I like whiskey. I like single malts. This, I tell you, and on that, yeah, this is good. It really is. And it was weird that he was a Scotsman, yeah, in the lock up there around the 5 points of Stone, yeah, where they get the 5 flavours, yeah, where a lot of the breweries are, yeah. I said, you don't know what you're talking about. It's all brewed in a particular way. It don't fucking take long at all. And we can add all of that shit in no time at all. And they're not 12-year-old bottles of whiskey. Can I tell you what it is? Do I believe this guy? Yeah, why? Because he fucking proved it to me, and he proved it and brought it here, and he gave me bottle after bottle after bottle. There was one I didn't like, and it was really, really smoky because of this particular wood essence he put into the whiskey. It was nuts. I've been drinking a little bit too much recently, and you know, uh, tonight I'm on green tea, lemon and honey, refreshing. But I did have one beer, a bottle of Marston's Razorback, really nice. A 3-day whiskey brewed from the beer that he'd already brewed. And also a nice cube of butter in a cup of soup, which was filled, well, the butter was totally emaciated in a particular herb, yeah, that takes away pain. That in a cup of soup, a cube of their butter in there, dropped in a cup of soup. I'm going to try that twice a day. Wow. I I haven't felt like this for over 2 years. It's pain free, absolutely pain free right now. It is Monday. It's not bad. Feels like you can feel yourself full of oxygen and breathe properly. With this or without it, I've had a wonderful night just because of it. And that must be a foretelling of the future gift, and I'm certainly going to use it. Apparently now, I've got enough for a fortnight. Good, that's cool. What a mate's for, right? What a mate. Cheers, Keith. Thank you, Keith. He's a star. Man that cares. Me too, man. I've been years with chronic pain, with heart disease and rheumatics. It was rheumatics and the treatment of the rheumatics that caused my heart disease. And now since 2007, I've been struggling with that. Yeah, with stenting, and hopefully I'm going to get an angiogram soon, which will actually will help, and it's a good system of advancement of long-term care with actual really good consequences. So I should have had it done a couple of years ago, but it didn't happen for a few other reasons. But a friend of mine just had it done, and he feels amazing because of it. Amazing, just because of that operation of an angiogram. That's nice of Amanda. I've got a brother like that. In fact, I've had brothers like that who helped me through a long period. After significant injuries and bad times when I couldn't work, and there was 3 to 4 winters where benefits denied me any payment at all, and I had to go through the winters with no payment. I was denied it. even though I was fighting it. And I got it eventually, and they even paid me back 4 times. They actually paid me back over them years where I was going through severe recovery, and I still am in ways, yeah, except for things have changed now because of the heart disease. But now it feels like tonight, yeah, there's a massive, massive chance of some better recovery than I thought. So none of us should give up. Keep looking for what works for you. What you got to lose? Your life. Your life. I've been close to it. Last week, I thought I was going to ring an ambulance and go to hospital because of massive shit pains in my chest. I got through the night. I have some really bad nights of pains in arms and chest. You know, see what tonight brings. And I'm going to talk about it because I think these things are more important than the other subjects. Because once we, it's like, say today, right, I am such good form, it's just unbelievable. Like, it's not a Superman thing, you know what I mean? But I do fucking feel amazing, you know. I could go on. Maybe I should and exercise that way, you know. Early stages, all right, especially when that's already tearing at the oxygen, you know, lactating the muscles already. Becomes painful just walking down the street. Like, your muscles are lactating and they're just cramped the fuck out. And it's like, and okay, there's this, but there's more to it than this. The greatest problem you have to your arteries, yeah, is modern medicine. One particular type is usually what they give for chronic pains and inflammation, which are anti-inflammatories. Anti-inflammatories, and how they work is they produce a molecule which can attach to the joints and therefore form a bubble all over it, and they're like a lubricant between the gristle and the bone. Yeah, because that's what a lot of arthritis is that's worn away. Yeah, the gristle and the bone connection is closer and closer. That's why it becomes painful, and it tends to swell the gristle to provide more of a cushion. So anti-inflammatories provide this lubricant. Except it doesn't all get there. It actually stays throughout all the arteries. Yeah, and becomes a form of plaque. Yeah. So when they tell you your cholesterol is up, yeah, it's because of this shit. Well, it's not. Because actually cholesterol is good for you. Even your HDL and your LDL, they are both good for you. The higher the HDL is, the better. Nothing in the world was ever found with heart disease. Yeah, his HDL levels were sky high. Don't believe him. Look at the York and the Edinburgh study. Type in that with cholesterol. York Edinburgh studies, cholesterol. Go and have a look. You'll find it. Some of the best studies in the world, and other studies you'll see them. I got heart disease for treatment of rheumatism. Yeah. And only after a nurse had said it a couple of times to me. Have you tried this? Have you tried this? Give it a go. I said, I do it all the time, but she went, no, no, look it up, and do it. So I did. Now, I may even be able to pick up a guitar again. I've been up to do it for 5 years. It's close to feeling like it, just because this nurse said to me, she wouldn't recommend it, she wouldn't admit it to anybody else, she told me. She thought I might have fibromyalgia. Maybe she's right, I don't know. But I certainly have arthritis. It's certainly rheumatoid. I've suffered through with repetitive strain injuries. I think that's gone. The repetitive strain injury experience is definitely gone. I can move repeatedly in, but a continuous period of time, and I don't even get a feeling of it like I used to when I suffered with it at work. Turmeric, a small pea size. Buy a big bag on Amazon, right? It's far cheaper than buying the tablets, right? Yeah, a couple of drops of water, couple of drops of water to some little bit of powder of turmeric. Make little balls. Make a few. You can make enough for that size, right? Little balls, peas, size, whatever. Yeah. Take one a day, every day. It'll take months for it if you even to notice a difference. Months. Usually about 2. Thank you, nurse. Wow. Right. I thought I was going to see her the other day when I went to see the nurse, but it was a different nurse. I couldn't thank her. Hey, I will. Things aren't right. Things aren't right. Everything from top down is designed just like religion is to do, is that. Because it's like they all treat them like the old ideals of religion is to do that. And that's since the Catholic Church was created. And every other church, even though they say they're not against or they're not with them or whatever, yeah, they're not. We've got a couple of points of view, right? But they all agree on one point. Keep everybody like that. All of them organized religions, except for Buddhism. I'm not a Buddhist. I agree with a lot of the moral and ethical values of all religions. Nah, I don't. It don't matter whether it's the core religions, and the core morals of how you treat another person. And there might be one exception there because of there's a certain question there, but that's only one religion. Other religions, no, it's not true. All other religions will accept that there are differences and talk and find what's common ground. Yeah, find what's common ground. Most people around the world would not harm another person. And we're all like that. Except that most of the world doesn't have an idea that they have to make their beliefs be the truth of another person who has a different belief. Except for one. And there's only one that does that. Now, we know religious societies have held people like that under the thumb and told them they have to be like that. But the general principles of it aren't that, as we've been able to walk away from that idea and the idea of slavery and to emancipate all, and all should be free, no matter who you are. Equality for all is a fact that should be all over the world, and that they must be accepted for their views. To a point, sure. If their point of view is, you big chief, I'll cut your head off, then you're not going to tolerate that shit, are you? You sell your daughter to me, she become wife of son. Get the fuck out of here, right? There are some places we won't go, and they're not giving up. And I agree, man, they're right. This has been planned forever and a day. It has been planned ahead of time by certain families, certain groups of people. We all know the noblesse. These are the families that range from right across the world. Fucking hell, let's just not kid ourselves. Don't matter if you're in the west or the east. Really, don't matter. These are still the same families, and they argue amongst each other too, which is a good thing. Saying, all right, find their little points and poke at them and point them in a direction, and it tends to cause well wars when you do that shit. Okay. Think the gods give to the world. They've got nothing to give. They think they give of themselves just by being. And that's why they are superior beings, because they give of themselves in moments when you need them. Yeah, right. Like a fucking hole in the head, right? In England, we have a constitution. And the kings and queens are supposed to sign up to it. But this next king may very well give his coronation oath rewritten under the illusion of the British, not as the English constitution. It will be rewritten in such a way as to deny king and queen's bench and council and the right to petition to be dissolved. Once them words are spoken, the Crown has declared war against his people. Make no mistake about it. The Crown will have declared war against his people. We know it already has been committing war against the people, but without a declaration. The war against the people is obvious. People have seen it everywhere. The system's fucked. Everybody knows it, whether you're a righty or a lefty or a centrist. We all see that not all the Wales governments, or very few that do care, and know us trying to go against this, are trying to move faster and faster into a way of controlling these people to cool them. They are already culling people. They have culled people, and they have done so for at least the last 30 years. The more I see it, and as bad as it gets in the near future, as it will, the more we'll want to do something, hopefully quicker, sooner rather than later. Because later the destruction becomes on their neighbours rather than holding Parliament to account. That, when it becomes you are no longer holding your Parliament to account and you are tearing each other to pieces, neighbour against neighbour, and worse. It's time to make a stand. Everything you believe in, you have to now stand for. Everything you believe in, you have to stand for to keep this country free. Don't know, Amanda, but it does seem to have happened a few times, doesn't it? Really does. Uh, yeah. Okay. Still got shit to learn on that. So I've been seeing it quite a bit about people putting together things about the Fabian Society recently and Baal, the god of the bull. He held and cherished the children and embraced them in his arms so he could throw them into the fires below. My gal, I just I haven't got a clue. I really don't. And all these things are being connected massively right now, all over the world. Certain, yeah, Baal, yeah. As the Freemasons call them, even though most Freemasons aren't aware of it, is their name is Abaddon. And he's the oldest of the all. He's older than An or El, or the elves, or the elves. El, as in San, Sin, the great Saint, as the Muslims say. But they would also include that of Satan, especially Christians, right? Because, I mean, they alone are perfect out of all of them, right? And would even say An or El, yeah, was the most ancient, whichever of El or Enki or Enlil, all this, but the oldest stories. And Christians, especially of a Catholic leaning, tend to say, yeah, but that's how clever Satan was. He got there before and fuck out of here. I ain't got a problem with Christianity as an ideal, as a a religion with format. Yeah, no. When you discount the Book of Thomas in the Bible, there's something seriously wrong with your head. If you discount the Book of Thomas, which is probably the greatest book that we've written in the whole set, and it was Thomas. He who doubted all. He who doubted all, Thomas. Doubting Thomas. And they didn't include that in the book. Oh, I wonder why. I know why. Egypt is connected all the way. Do you want to talk about that sometime, Manda? Yeah, I've seen a lot like you probably have too. Yeah, Egypt is the One Ring and the red, white, and blue bloods. The three crowns of Egypt, which was united under the One Ring, and which became here in 1706 as the Union of Jacob. Today, we suffer the Union Jack and the Jack boots forever parading on our spines. Yeah, I don't know where I was really going with this time. Just trying some more, but I still can't find all controls on this thing. Don't know how to find them all. Yep. That's good stuff. Yeah. Don't really know. That is the thing. It's always the thing, isn't it? But yeah, I've had enough of all this shit, the same as everybody else. It's all bullshit. We all know that the government's just taking all of our cash from taxes. So what do? We do an absolute national strike right across the board. Everybody stops working and saying, government, you're not getting no money to send to Ukraine. You're not getting no money to send to gender studies in Pakistan. Whatever, right? And also you'll have no money to pay for the illegal immigrants here. The whole country just stopped working. Watch them. Want a voice? We haven't got another voice. They've denied your ability to use firearms. They've denied your ability to stop paying taxes to get it at source. What are you left with? Don't go to work. You lose out too, yeah, granted. Yeah. Get ready for a little preparedness and then do it. Get ready. Get ready. Spring. This coming year in the spring. Get it ready. Get it planted. Grow your food. Grow a lot of rabbits, chickens. Right? Help each other out. Whole nation, strike. Just stop. No more taxes going in because there's no more work being done. No. Don't pay shit. Do it from a specific date and go from there. Watch them shit themselves. Stay at home if you want. Say, oh, we're locked down. Can't work anymore. Whatever. Play the fucking game. I don't know if I'll get it all sorted eventually, Pet, but it will with everyone's help. at least a majority, or they say it's only 5%. 5% of a nation shuts down. The government pays attention. 5. Don't know what 5% of 33 million is, but hey. Sure, there's somebody out there that can organise something like that better than me. But we need to talk to these people that are ready and prepared. Yeah, where you're just growing micronutrients, like the lefties like to, right? But they're real simple, they're real cheap. You can grow shitloads of greens really quickly for when you need them and add them to a protein. Right? You've already saved yourself loads, and you could do that sustainably for months and months on a few quid. Meat, on the other hand, takes a bit more. They even need support for certain people. So by May, it said May next year, yeah, you will not be able to buy beef in the shops. And all the top suppliers around here are saying that right now. Right now, we can buy 10 fucking tons of beef steak, finest quality, English beef. Right? It's like, for the money, right? That's going to be big, right? But they won't selling smaller. This is what they're aiming at. So whoever's buying this and then sends it out, whatever, or it goes across to fucking China probably, because that's where it's going to go. Not only the price of 10 tons of fucking beef steak, right? I mean, some serious steak. Already in steaks. My God, I've got some in the fridge in the freezer, and they've been maturing for a while in the freezer, and they get better and better maturing in the freezer. But how much freezer space would you need for 10 tons? What size container would you need? Sure, just put one out the back. Add a generator. Add constant fuel. Oh, wow. No. It's coming faster and faster, that ability to buy meat. It seriously is. It won't be me, it'll be after it, because it's already in stock, yeah? It's already on the, not necessarily on the shelf, but there's a feed, which is actually, as you know, becoming more and more limited. You've got less and less choice of what you're going to buy, right? But yeah, it's still there for now. You watch from summer to winter next year. I mean, it's going to be a problem this year because of price, but next year it's price and there is no commodity. Apparently, they give all the farm animals across the land the corona jab all across the land. All the farm animals across the land are safe from corona. Yippee. Does it cook out when you cook a steak or a breast of chicken? Most things do. We add to our farm animals to keep them safe. Does that? Oh, yeah. It's a worrying development. Either that or they're just trying to use all the shots off. I mean, did they ever use that Tamiflu? How many thingies did they get of that? Was it 30 million or 60 million of these fucking vaccines of Tamiflu? Jesus Christ. Kept in a warehouse. It's probably gone out of date. Yeah, meat is far more contaminated than you're aware of. I mean, antibiotics alone, I mean, which we stayed clear of, especially with the beef and that, for a long time. And we actually refused and paid a surcharge to America, which inevitably was really a fine. So we didn't accept their beef because they injected it with antibiotics constantly, which is now pretty much a done thing here, as far as I'm aware. I might be wrong, say so. But as far as I know, it's becoming more and more recognised worldwide. That's sad if you eat beef and you get ill. I eat it all the time and I love it. I have no problems with it. Not with lamb, not with pork. I'm good. Give me that and a few greens. Leave away the rest of it. You know what I mean? The carbs. Get rid of the noodles, the bread, the rice. Have them once in a while, fine, right? But don't have them with every meal. Do not, because they are not. The carbs are the big problem. Them and polyunsaturates, which is margarine. Yeah, anything that is hydrogenated, which is also includes milk, the killer milk that is just dead and it's full of antibiotics, which is just killing your system. Overproduction of white cells, so you're more likely to go into a cytokine storm when shit hits fan. Right, that type of additive is what is all that does. It weakens you all the time, constantly batters you, makes you tired. Not a doctor, not a nutritionist, but I do know about nutrition. Not everything, obviously. How long have we been on? An hour and a half. I'm going to end it shortly. What has made your body get weaker over the last few years? Is it because you're not going out as much, you're not socialising as much? Uh, interaction's a problem. Trusting people is a problem. Uh, you're not exercising as much. So I know them feeling. All of them feelings have gone through the same self over the last few years, especially the last 18 months. And it won as an acceptance to COVID and all that lot. Yeah, it was. Yeah, all the above. It was just almost giving up. Yeah, giving up on everything, the community and everything, because people weren't talking about it. They call you nuts. They call you crazy. You get the odd person agreeing with just a couple of things, but they can't see a bigger picture. They won't look at it. Yeah, I've been through them, but recently I've been having much more of awakening, and that if nobody in my area is going to stand up and talk and speak and fight, right, then I'm going to. I even mentioned recently that I may even stand as try and stand as an MP if I can learn enough, and you know, just to piss these people off. Not necessarily to win, but just to say, hey, there are different points of view here, and we're not tolerating yours, right? Because I are. So if I have to stand, I am going to. Just so other people in the communities can turn around and say, what's he talking about? What's he talking about? If they shut me down, they shut me down. But I'm going to shout from the fucking rooftops. I am. I'm coming from. I'm done with these dickheads. Prime Minister upon Prime Minister upon Prime Minister upon Prime Minister that was never voted. Other Prime Ministers that create so much fucking legislation which is not even worked properly, that it's so confusing that the judges find it hard to form an opinion. This shit has destroyed this country. And now its people have lived in just a short time. And they have the audacity to call it the Long March. Try over 1,000 fucking years. Over 1,000 fucking years to get where we was before these fuckers decided, oh, we can't have that because we can't control them. Well, who's the ones that want to control it? So why these idiots support these people that want to control it when this is what they want to do? Because they really are sheep. I don't believe that. Probably want a good slap on the ass. Some cake. Yeah, I'd want a punch. Wake up, in other words. You know? Kids are awkward to get open the rights, especially I found in the junior years up until the senior years, and it can be harder in senior years, especially if they go on to do sixth form or college. Once they get out of it, right, and then just go start working and start having to realize how the money works and how money and everything works, and how much it interacts with you, yeah, and how much time you've got to put in to achieve a wage weekly, monthly, yeah, sorry, pro rata. And once they see that, they go, got it. Yeah, that makes more. Yeah, got it. I'm listening now because you're affecting my fucking wage, right? But if your kids don't understand money, if they don't understand money, this is where you have to get them to understand money. The sooner you get them to understand money, they get the rest of it. I promise you. The rest comes like that. Especially if you've got somebody who's going to say, hey, look, we have a constitution, our laws work like this, blah, 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 and therefore ever, you know, they're immutable unless we, the people of this nation, have a referendum to amend a change in the constitution. Otherwise, it's never been changed, no matter what they do. Even the coronation oath, which the king is going to pronounce under, and it will be different to the last one. Go read the new one. Go read the last one. Put them side by side. I have a copy of the original coronation oath here. It works with the Bill of Rights. It gives the Bill of Rights its power. The power of the Bill of Rights gives the King and Queen its power under its coronation oath, as the two bind together to give ultimate power to the people and to protect the crown. That's the point. That's before any acts of union were entitled. Fuck the Union of Jacob, which is destroying this. This. Hey, too expensive. So they actually should already understand money. They should. Mandy. Bless you. I'm lucky my son sees it, but he's finding a lot of new ways of looking at it that I've never seen before, which is interesting. And sometimes I'm going to have to talk about that. No. I'm having difficulty recalling it, of the differences. And they're interesting from a different point of view. He's only 21. Yeah. And he questions everything, which really makes me smile, right? Even when I go, really, you're questioning that, right? Okay, go on then. Let's hear it. But he comes up with some interesting ideas, and it makes me smile. And it gives me hope, So I'm lucky. But it wasn't until, like I say, he left school. He went to college. He gave that up real quick, and then went away. Since then, he's been booking, huffing and puffing. Bless. Noob. Rat race. Grindstone. Mill around the neck. Have I, son? Right? So, the last few weeks, he started to tell me about it, how he's accepted it more. Yeah. Which is fine. He's not happy, but now he's got a goal he's set himself to, and he's got a plan, which he's doing very well at the moment. Really, I am really impressed, and I have to applaud him, to be honest. Yeah. Good luck, son. That's it. People like me and others can keep this country together long enough without it being destroyed. The tidal wave of insanity. It's almost enough to make you. I am Monday. I am looking. I am lucky. But then he's had to pull up with me. I've been like this for quite a long while. Not long as I'd liked, really, because I was in my 30s before. Now I'm nearly 60. I was in my 30s before I even had my eyes open properly. There was always things I thought about, even at school. God, right from that first day at primary school, there's a story I might tell one day, but I'm not going to do it right now. But I might. But that first day, there was a part of me rebelled big time, yeah. And it had massive concerns, and I'm sure it travelled with me throughout school, right? Because I thought, I've been told to watch out for you, right? Yeah, right. But I always rebelled. In senior school, I went for most of my first year, and after that, I didn't bother going again. I went back for the last day. That's it. Didn't go to college, didn't do anything else. Mostly worked as a labourer, sometimes semi-skilled. Well, I've been mostly happy. I've had a good life. I've loved twice in two different families, which I still adore, for the good and the bad. I'm sure they think about that way when they think about me, don't get me wrong. I love them dearly. Well, I didn't want much. I didn't want riches and stuff. Yeah, of course, I've dreamed of fucking owning a Lamborghini or living in a castle and shit, but it's all airy fairy shit, right? It's not real. But to dream is as one is, right? I always wanted the simple pleasures. Yeah, I think you're right, Manda. I think that's the thing. Most of us that that are actually having a voice and speaking out uh, didn't do too well in school, or there was walking, walking up. Shit, slap yourself there, Stu. Hard. That saw the problem that what they were saying is you didn't agree with, but if you didn't agree with what they said and put it down on paper, you weren't getting anywhere. So I think there were those, not myself, of course, because I was like, get the fuck away, you fucking not having any of this shit. Yeah, doing as you say. What? Who are you? That was as simple as I got, right? And after he kept coming at me like that, I wasn't having any of it. Other people went, so what you after? So I can get my points and then I can move on and go get this, right? And they moved on and they actually do have uh, this detraction from what is wanted from them, yeah, and have a bit of rebellious side constantly in whatever they do because they've achieved it, they've got the backing, yeah, and yet still disagree with a lot of what they was taught, which may be a wise way. I don't know. I can't help, but I get a problem here, right? And if I can't get around it with, I'm like, fuck off. You have to have some TNT on that cunt. Yeah, not on the Royal Mail though, eh? Fuck that TNT company from the Netherlands who were trying to buy our Royal Mail and own it. JP Morgan tried to do, but only got some administrative. I'm sure if you look deep enough that JP Morgan is involved in TNT. Well, hey yo, I'll have to have a look at that myself. Grizzly Adams life. Yeah, it's a bit too bad for me. I love a village life, decent property with a nice piece of land. Yeah, not just a wood cabin. I mean, I could devise a wood cabin that I've seen. I'd love to live in and have it all thingy fitted out, modern, but without any connection to any of the grids. And that's not as hard as you think it is. Even water isn't. So yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that. Not so much the Grizzly Adams. It's too bare bones for me. Uh, but the attitude to Grizzly Adams, when you remember, it was just a constant talking about a constitutional basis. Yeah, that's how he lived his life. It was almost priest-like because it was bare bones, and I ain't got a problem with that either. But as you can see, I've got some things around me, books, uh, some training aids. Yeah, watch them animals do it, yeah. Especially, Grizzly Adams. Rabbits and that are all right. Yeah, I couldn't do too much bluebird, thing. Sure, living with animals and only using them as necessary. I get that. Yeah, but I'll always want to eat animals because without them, we wouldn't be who we are. It's only meat that gives you enough sustenance with protein minerals in one meal than any other meal can possibly do. It's only meat that can do that to allow us to become the challenging creatures of thought and philosophy, creative arts, and musicians and thinkers that we are. Sure, we used a little LSD or mushrooms, which I prefer. LSD is very synthetic, and although it's opening in mind, I always found it limiting and in its chemical construct. When you allow mushrooms in, you breathe better, you see better, your body is whole, it's connected. The intricacies of connection throughout where you are, the land, people, and even allowing thought to just go outwards into the connectivity of the universe, then is far above what LSD can do. Way above. And I'm not talking about 10, 15 mushrooms. I'm talking up to uh, 1,000. No, I won't recommend that to anybody because it's not for everybody. But those that do know what I'm talking about. Don't do it. So harvesting animals is fine. I ain't got a problem with it. I would willingly go butcher an animal for to eat. No problem. I'll go do it. I have no qualms about it at all. Would I do it willingly if I didn't need to? No. Have I done it when I was younger? Done some stupid shooting when I was younger. Regret it? Absolutely. Well, I grew up in the day when you could carry an air rifle down the street without even having a bag in it. Or, sorry, it in a bag. I could walk down the street with a sword in my hand. And they did a few times. Once I was stopped by police who was telling me something that had happened at home with big gleeful smiles in their face, knowing I had a sword in my hand, which was they didn't give a flying fuck about. They didn't question it because they couldn't question it at that time. Not a chance could they question it because it was against our constitution. We had every right to do it back in the early 70s. Actually, they learned that. They learned that. Let's have a look. 60, early 80s. Around the very early 80s. Yeah. So I was 16 to 18, walking around with a very, very sharp uh, ninja sword. Haha. Sometimes samurai sword. Without a question, I'd often go back to me and my friend's house. Oh, you know, we were into that shit. Sometimes he'd borrow it and take it home, try a few cuts out, and I think that's where I took a bend. This shit just clicked. So I'm trying. No, he is. And that probably ain't true. Look straight to me. So how do we get from there here, I mean, 80 to 22. It's 42 years, right? What a mess. What a stinking pile of shit. As I was just coming up into my adulthood, yeah, as I was growing into a young man who thought he knew everything, right? Didn't know shit from China, all right? As proved time and time again. And I still fuck up. Even my son corrects me. We all make mistakes constantly, right? I don't correct my son, I show him a different way. Give me a minute. Stick kettle, I'm going to make a drink while I still talk. No. So how would you feel if you just found out, right, that whiskey, yeah, is often sold by its age? Now here in the UK, British Isles, it's not considered a whiskey unless it's 3 years old. Then single malts tend to be 8 and above. But if I told you, yeah, mid down the road, yeah, under the instructions from Scottish distiller, who was a professional who worked in the industry all of his life, right? Turned around to you and said, I can make you a 12-year-old in 3 weeks, and you can have a continuous fucking supply. Lose the accent, Stuart. It's terrible. That's just crazy, right? What if it's true? And it's just one of the fucking things they don't tell you about. Those in the countryside of Scotland, and I'm not talking about the towns and cities, right? They actually work in the industries, yeah, tend to be more rural. Yeah. Uh, they make it in no time. Not 12 years. They just get a license to turn around and tell you that, oh, it's a 12-year-old. I'm telling you, mate, I want a couple of bottles coming for Christmas as well, right? Yeah. There's a mate, I sort of know how to do it, but I want to do mead and not. Actually, of course, I want to do whiskey. Uh, but I want to give it a go because to produce a bottle of whiskey that good as he supplied me last year for Christmas and that, and he's got a couple of bottles for me this Christmas. Shit, man. This is not like that fucking vodka that went around a while ago. Well, back in the early 20s. Do you remember that? When people were going blind. God, I used to buy litres of that balls of shit. At the end of the week, about 6 bottles. So that'd be one of them times when I thought, you've got a problem, Stu, with the alcohol, you know. And every now and then I do, right? Because you should. Keeps you in check, right? So again, green tea with lime and honey. Very refreshing. Brewing is a scam. Try it at home yourself, and then you turn it on to these brewers and say, how long did it take you to make yours? By the way, this mate, right, makes almost the best beer I've ever had. Almost. You know, that's because he hadn't tried a heavy beer like Theakston's Old Peculiar. Or his bitters and his pale ales. Or his IAP, yeah. IPA, sorry. Yeah. Phenomenal. He certainly knows his brew. And then he makes all these pickled onions and olives and stuff, which is just beyond what you can get in shop. He's a friend who's introduced me to so many and how food should really be. You know, apart from the old man back in a long time now. But he didn't really teach us. He just thought the living of it would be enough, but it all started changing from our childhood into our adulthood, yeah, and beyond to today, which is now just fucking escalate, right? And how everything's changing so fast within a very socialistic viewpoint, which should not be tolerated. And even unlawful in the Constitution, Bill of Rights. Fascism, communism, and Sharia law, abominations under English Constitution. Do you know why they want you to not know it? Do you get it? Please read it. Government website, 1688, Bill of Rights, and the coronation of 1688, 1689. I like sagas, good ones. Yeah. Hard to get the cloudies, so innit? Often I get a damage on here sometimes, but I wonder if it's a brewer's trick, but it tastes really good. Then I heard Reb talking about it the other week. He talked about it, how they used to get cider, and I would love to have experienced that type of cider. I think it might have, but I don't think it's quite as good. But it wasn't that. No, it was Solomon Thatcher's only, not Marston's. But that Marston's Razorback's very good. So, in it, time for all of us just to keep talking about what we want for our future and the future of our children and our grandchildren. Just amongst our family and friends. Because if we all talk about it amongst our family and friends, it will go outwards and it'll spread. the roots of a tree. It comes out of the roots of our culture and our traditions. But we need to keep the top of the tree alive. We, the people, know all of its connections, of all of its roots, customs, and traditions. To keep them alive. Because our countrymen. And fuck you if you turn around and says you're not a countryman, you're a man of the sea. Because you're a dick. Same country, dick fuck. This fucking camera still keeps flashing. You have to get probably a better one, I don't know. It's just gone on another over half an hour and I'm still chatting away. Oh. I do this because I believe in right and wrong. I do this because I understand the history of many, not just my own country. I'm no historian. I don't pretend to be. I'm just a casual observer, if you like. Most of my life I was an idiot, and that means I didn't understand or follow or even give a flying fuck about politics. No longer is that true. So those idiots who care not will be governed by lesser men than they. They're idiots. Seems to be a sign of the times right now, doesn't it? America's a great example. Our leaders in the so-called United Kingdom is a fucking joke. None of them voted in. More of them not voted in the last 20 years than voted in, right? The fuck? All you better find your voice. If you want your family and your family line to continue. Start talking. That's all it takes. Just talk. Don't even have to agree with me, but talk about the subject. Just talk about them. Ask what other people's opinions are and what they think about it. It's amazing the effect that can have. It's beyond the 100 monkey syndrome. Because it is a profound custom of all humanity. From its inception of language. Now, we're even destroying that most amazing singular gift to mankind, the ability to communicate. Rather than hearing a voice from what people consider an authority, I've never met one. I've met authors. Don't agree with everything any one of them says, so calling them authority on the topic is highly debatable, right? So if these thinkers spread their own ideas to others, yeah, who do not challenge what they are reading, everything they are reading. Don't matter whether you come to terms with it or not, and you tend to agree with it. But when you take it as fact, as soon as he says it or she says it, you become the literal equivalent to an idiot. I would never dream of telling anybody what to think. Would I dream of giving my opinion? No, I'll just fucking tell you. You can say, fuck off, dickhead, or whatever you want. I don't care. It won't hurt my feelings. Promise you. That will not hurt my feelings. And I'm not going to tell you have the right to disagree with me. Because that's pathetic. It's not even a right, it just is, right? Just is. To disagree. Even if you don't know the fact. Because it means you're questioning. Yeah, but what if? Are you disagreeing? Well, maybe not, but I just want a question. Yeah, you're disagreeing because you have a question. Hang on. I can't agree with you. Therefore, I've got to disagree because I've got a question. Now, I might have 10,000 questions and I won't agree with you until all these are answered and I can fucking vouch for them. Otherwise, fuck off, dictator. Ask him a fucking question. Just a question. Why? Why? I will, I promise. Did you know the question why is written in the most accepted name of God? Of course, Christians tend on and say, there is no name for God. God is God. That is it. Yeah, okay. Where did the rule come from? What was Jesus' God? Who was Jesus' father in heaven? As a Jew. You've said it enough times. I'm a Jew. I'm only here for my people. To the Gentiles and that, and the crippled woman who approached him says, can you help me? He says, no. I'm only here to help my people. Did he not? Oh, what you want? Chapter and verse? Yeah. Maybe next time. Otherwise, go use your Concord. Type in Concord Bible and then type in that statement. You'll come across, you'll find it. The Bible Concordance. So you don't have to agree with everything, and neither should you. That's the whole point of freedom. This is how we've evolved into civilizations that have become far more than what we thought they could have ever dreamed of in 2,000 years ago. But today, most people have a feeling that It should be far better than it is. And why? Because of the rape of the lands, the rape of our lands, no matter where you are, whether you're in England, Wales, America, any state, take your pick, South America, Africa, whether it's Uganda, South Africa, or whatever, Australasia, the Asias, Russia, Ukraine, whatever, right? Doesn't matter. But why is it now the governments give people's resources away to large corporations that then charge you phenomenal amounts for how you then go take that product and use it, whatever you turn it into, and the technical advantage in that you're looking upon today, which are also by big corporations, as we all know. And you pay again and again and again. You made it. You grew that company. You the people. Without it, the companies are nothing. Without it, the governments are nothing. And yet, people think they should give them everything and their trust, when it's rare that they can be trusted. There are companies that can be trusted, and at the moment, I don't even know if there's a handful of governments that can be trusted. It's such a rare thing today. That is crazy. And ours haven't been able to be trusted for God knows how long, if ever. Because the king's swords come and cut and cut and cut. Toll polluter council tax, miners' strikes, and even protests within COVID. Now, I saw 2 people beaten and it looks as though they was dead. One was found later on to be okay. The other one may have been, but I haven't been able to find out that information on that one. I hope he is okay, and he probably is, but the blood you saw coming from these protesters' heads and stuff. Not long ago, if a medical company produced a medicine which had such adverse effects that 20 to 30 people were harmed, that medicine would be withdrawn. Today, 20 million dead and casualties are always a vast ratio above, right? Not allowed to be questioned. Well, they have been all over, and the studies are irrefutable. Even in the UK Parliament, they're talking about it. Absolutely irrefutable. They're that worried that they know they have to recognise and talk about it and act upon it, even though they're trying to sell us faster and faster into the EU with Rishi Sunak. Not an Englishman. Don't give a flying fuck about the country of England. And if you think the politicians of the SNP, Clyde Cymru, or Sinn Féin do, of the other kingdoms, crowns and protectorates, of the British, do, and you're a fool. They don't give a flying fuck about it. They'll just bleed England dry. That's what they're doing. It's not the people of Scotland. It's not the people of Wales. It's not the people of Northern Ireland that are doing it. It's these that apparently have now become a class. which some people, if they get enough education, and say the right things, and can talk the way around it, they can get in there, even though they're actually not of that class, giving a pretension that all can rise to greatness. When the truth is, unless you suck a big fat one, you ain't getting there. Actually, it's more likely to be a little one than a big fat one, right? Yeah, rabbit holes. Yeah, the Warrens are massive and interconnected. It's but if you only keep it simple and your idea simple and your truth simple, right? And I'm not saying you've got a truth and I've got a truth and they're different, because that's just nonsense, right? Now, if it comes to something like that, or we all both think we've got a truth which is different, then it's a belief. It's not truth. It's not knowledge. It's not truth. Because if it's true, we both agree upon it, and that because it's a fact, right? It just is. That's what just is, right? And that's what's supposed to go on in a course. But that's not what's going on in a course today, is it? It's not about just is. It's about belief and opinion. Yeah, not the judge's opinion on the facts, which is supposed to be, but an opinion upon opinion. It's like, get the fuck out of here. You're wasting time with that crap. That's not a court of law. It's a monstrosity of tyrannical abuse. It's star chambers. Which were banned a long time ago. Is there enough time to deal with this? Yeah, of course there is. Of course there is. I had an epiphany, like I said, well, I didn't say I had an epiphany, but I did have an epiphany a couple of days ago, and I was actually thought I was doing a live talk like this, and I was going through the creation of the Constitution from its history, beginning to up until the 1700s, where I got in, and somebody told me I won't laugh, and I hadn't been recording it. Then I started recording it, and there was no. It was muted to stop any feedback coming on because I was on the phone with somebody who told me it wasn't recording. And then I went on to record a little bit after that, and it's deleted really. But I thought I'd leave it there as a reminder of stupidity. Plus, sick chance of 9% alcohol lager. Yeah. Anyway, actually, it was really good that night as well. It was that was also fairly pain free, and I was buzzing without seeming to be drunk. But I'll have to go back and watch it. I ain't seen it yet. All of it. Maybe I was. Oops. But this epiphany I had just a short while back was while I was talking about that creation of the Constitution, and I ended up talking about duty and how everybody was duty or otherwise leave it to lesser men. And while I have a feeling that the world's wrong and those that are standing are wrong and they're not fighting for right, then I have to, because no one else is talking about it. And people around me who were hearing me turn around telling me, saying, then you do it. And I said, I can't because of this and that. You come up with reasons, right? And yeah, them reasons are valid. Maybe that's the point. And so I'm going to try. I'm going to learn what I can and see if I can run here and just shake a few fucking trees. If that's all I can do, I'll have a fucking go at grassroots here in my local neighbourhood. If I can run for MP and shake some fucking trees, get people talking. Thanks again, Manda. Yeah, makes sense that it was you who told me. But I don't think we've got enough time, and I think more and more people are actually going to stand in their own localities. And I'm not a politician. I told you most of my life I was an idiot. The real meaning of the word idiot. But now it's come to a time when, if I believe I know enough about the Constitution and that the way our laws are not running on our Constitution and we're being deprived as a nation of customs and traditions, yeah, for many devious ways, that then I should get up there and speak, because nobody else knows or wants to or willing to. I wish there was somebody better than me. Maybe somebody will because of it. I don't know. That's all I can think of right now. But I'm going to do it. But it is, Mando, it is passionate, because how can it not be? My country is being invaded. My country is being destroyed economically, socially, by the government alone, that only works for corporations that think they're bigger than countries because they have more money, when money is an illusion and a figure typed in on a keyboard. My land, my home, my heart, my home, my hearth and home. This is mine. And I know there are millions of you out there that feel the same. Millions. And if you do and you've got something about you, just even if it's just a pair of balls, and maybe you need a little advice on that. I mean, I'll certainly give you what I know. I've asked for help. I've asked for help from the party, and we're going to talk about that. I hope. I've asked. We'll see. If I don't get it back, and I'll do it independently. Don't matter. Maybe they think I'm an idiot. Maybe they're right. I don't think I'm anything special. But it's time to say fucking no. No. It's a word not often enough said. And that seems to be. Look, it's moving the fucking camera around. Who's doing that? Want me? That was weird. And it's often been said throughout history, there are times when people have stopped saying no. They become lethargic and catatonic about what's around them. She's getting with Bansom. Baby time. Shit. You know, not doo-doo, not poo-poo. Not dude. Yeah. excreta, shit's gonna hit the fan. Everything shits. Apparently, even every cell in your body pisses, shits, and eats. Every little cell. Or how many billions and millions or whatever you've got of them. Yeah. I suppose it depends on who you ask and how many cells you've got in your body. Yeah. We all piss, shit, and eat. So there are toxins that are constantly needing to be leached out of the body with a particular diet. And the system's like that too. Politics is like that. Because it's the same vibrational system. It's only what we can imagine. And it's why we try to teach our younger people on how to use imagination. Because can you see what we've built here today, children? What can you imagine coming from that? And so the flower grows, right? Perennially. But that is being denied and cut down like a great forest with axes every day in this country and throughout the West. For the sake of a few families, which I call the noblesse, many people will recognise it because it's what they think they are. Another term would be L-ites, those of L who worship L, from the EU Union to the British government and above, civil services and particular families, and same in America. They came from Europe to America, their families. Many of them came in Operation Paperclip, to be honest. Right? And now they're running the country. They created the CIA, the NSA, the MI6, Interpol, international police forces all talk to each other. Oh, you wouldn't get that among the Secret Service, would you? Ooh, maybe at the top. That's a great documentary if you type that, Hidden in Plain Sight. It's about 5 hours long and it's incredibly eye-opening. Yeah, there's nothing hidden, really. But you've been taught not to listen to your lying eyes or believe your lying eyes. Does it matter? Same shit anyway. Do you see what you see or don't you? Now, do you shoot your mind off though? Is it right and wrong, or is it partial right and right? Oh, for now, maybe we've all done it. I've done it. Like I said, complete idiot. Thought I knew everything at 18, didn't know. Shit. Seriously, it wasn't until me in my 40s when I really started paying attention. Even though I bits throughout, even at school, I rebelled and stuff and kept on with certain ideas and stuff. You know, I went on there with the free man stuff and all that lot. And there's a lot to be said for the free man. There's a lot to be said for a lot of people who are pushing ideas and boundaries. Proof, it's a different thing. Freeman, on the other hand, I mean, it's got a lot going for it, except it will not recognise that it's based on all their talking points are based on the Constitution, and they don't use the Constitution to back it up. It's that simple. All Freeman is. Except for those that turn around and say they can open common courts, and you should open common courts, and all you have to do is create this document and blah, 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 blah. Costs you a couple of quid, whatever it is, right? All comes from an EU document of their common courts, which is not used in EU or under EU law. Hang on. No. There we go. All right. Right. There we go. Sorry, that took a while. This book. Common Law Community Training Manual from the EU on how to do common law and its courts, how to create them. An EU leftist manual to attack common law and undermine it as ridiculous. This is what it does, and this is what all them common courts are that are trying to open under Freeman. Couple of quid on Amazon. Go and have a look at it. It's ridiculous. If you know anything, you've got any reasonable skills about it, right? You'll see how ridiculous that is. Maybe I'll go through it to do some talking points, but not tonight. Fuck me. And it's because they started way back in the 60s to take away the idea of constitution and individual rights away from us when we was at school, from back in the 60s. I was born in 1964. But I got into juniors, and I already realised there was some things I wasn't happy with, right? But into seniors, I learned that there was things that were right and wrong, and you should stand by them. And I wasn't doing it. Like wearing a uniform. You know? I'll come to school in jeans. I'll send you home to go get a thingy. I says, go send me home. It'll take me all day. I'll come back tomorrow with jeans on. Oh, you got to go change them. Right, I'm going to go change them. I'll come back tomorrow with jeans on. Not doing it. Now look at the uniforms. You get the infighting about, oh, what's your uniform? Is it from George? No, man's from M&S. Man's Coutier. What did it matter? The same at school when we was young, yeah. We grew up with fuck all, really, you know what I mean? Lucky to have a fucking pair of jeans. And then they wanted you to buy a uniform. Yeah, fuck off, so you can. I can go home, still play out in these. Back then, denim wasn't made of cotton, it was made of, hemp. canvas. Jeans lasted a long, long time. Not wear out in the nuts or the fucking knee in 5 to 6 months. The fuck's that shit? Taking the piss, man. It's so insidious. It is in everything. The rabbit hole is massive and vast. Find the points of interest that interest you. Don't trouble yourself about the other too much. Talk about it, sure, but find a topic and go at that. Find what's true and what ain't. It's like a tradesman. When you, I'm not one, but I'm not one. Certainly on sad time, right? The Libra, yeah, sure, done all that, right? Yeah, I've said time then. Time served, Libra. Anyway, tradesmen learn their skill, and they learn it up to the nth degree. They can transfer them skills and ideas onto many other subjects and see that the same is true. And it's true in any field, a trade. Because the idea of a trade is a way of thought, thinking, and application. That's it. It's what we call real knowledge. You get it? Real knowledge. That's why they don't want people to be educated in such a way to have a trade. They want machines to do it now. But soon it'll come to a point where nobody can teach the machines a new trade because nobody let the fucking trade in the fucking first place for them to teach it how it to be done. And it's not going to be able to engineer it that way through a computer and AI because AI ain't going to be able to do that. Because once you get a new term of thinking, you're not going to be able to program it into the same way of thinking that already was and already existed. So you've got to start from scratch and read that, oh, now all that information and knowledge is lost. Oops. Sorry, we've forgotten how to get back to the moon because, well, we don't have that technology anymore. I get it. They really think we're stupid, right? They really do. But the Muppets think it takes just a small level of numbers to keep going that they can control to keep it going. When it took the massive population and its brain force, potential power throughout all of its systems, creativity of writing, construct, and proofing using verification of codes and engineering abilities and techniques that got us here. Cut that down and put a couple of chips in a few people just to keep the computers and the robots working. Yeah, it'll soon fall. Because the Muppets, because these people ain't got two brain cells to rub together. They're not bright. They couldn't wipe their ass with a sweeping brush. But I'm sure a few of them tried it. I'm no better than anyone else. I just believe I've come to a point where there are many people who try and do good. Honestly, you go and join political parties and they think they're going to do good. And when they get there, they realise that the way the game's played is it's not going to happen, right? All I expect is to knock on the door, right? People think, oh, yeah, create a big stink. Hopefully, other people pay attention and try it themselves and learn from it, right? Because that's sort of the only option I've got at the moment. Yeah, is to learn from that projection. Yeah, certainly do want this old brainwash and dumbed down. Fluoride, aspartame, polyunsaturates. Take your pick. Will kill you quicker. The faster the turnover in the shortness of length of time of life, then the less knowledge accumulated. And this is why you are now led to believe that immortality, right, would be a problem because all you would know is pain. No, that ain't all you would know. You know pain anyway. We all know pain, whether it's through illness, loss of loved ones. We're born and die, living, only knowing that well, not only that, but that is true anyway. Yeah, it is true that we're going to know pain, deep pain, because all of us must die. I may be in a year. Maybe tomorrow I'll get hit by a bus. It'll be weird. I ain't been out in a few days. So we're all absolutely sensitized and even oversensitized to emotion and physical pain because it's been made that way. That everything we do, what we breathe, drink, eat, touch, speak, more and more today than over the last 2 years. It's harmful. Now they're telling us eating beef will give you cancer, heart disease, and Alzheimer's. But we know Alzheimer's comes from the mercury of all them stupid light bulbs, that just get put in people's bins and into the ground, which seeps into the groundwater. For instance, I would suggest that aspartame was probably the largest in fluoride. So I've got quite a bit of hard work and research to start getting onto, which preparing me for going for a run. I have to buy some new trainers. most of the time I have difficulty walking down the fucking street. But today's an amazing feeling. This is something that we'll talk about as we go along. We shall see. It's a bright future. Remember, knowledge isn't knowledge until it becomes useful. Until you use it, you don't know it. If you think you know it and you've never used it, try using it. Have a good night. And I'm off. So, good night all.